have 3 messages today. This is number 2. It might be for you. Please use your discernment. I keep being shown lobsters. You may actually be hearing that song Rock Lobster a lot, or hearing the phrase like, my lobster, they're my lobster, coming forward, like just really frequently right now. And there's a couple things in this message. 1, lobsters used to be prison food. So there might be something about like prison, Earth school, like Earth as a prison planet. Like you might be like, I don't know, like exploring like interdimensional energies right now. Or like there might be something about like prison or incarceration or like oppression in some way that's like coming forward for you. But lobsters were like traditionally like a prison food. They were considered like a throwaway. But like over time they grew in like affluence. So now we consider lobster to be a meal that is quite fancy and expensive. It's something that like you don't have at home necessarily all of the time. And this is relevant because it feels like there's something that you have, there's something that you do, there's something that you want, that for a long time you felt kind of like imprisoned from it. Like you haven't been able to reach it, to access it, or in some way, the thing that you've been doing or pursuing to other people, it seems like prison food. Like it seems like slop. It seems like it's silly. It doesn't have a purpose. Like it's not valuable. Like the thing that you want or what you are pursuing as your dream, it doesn't seem valuable to other people, or at the very least it hasn't. And even the idea of the fact that you even like pursue this thing, giving people the impression that like you are somehow like locked in, I don't know, a fantasy or like this mental prison or like delusion. Like it's this really interesting, I don't want to phrase this, pursuing the thing that like God put on your heart to pursue in some ways has maybe made you look foolish to other people, like in the eyes of the world. But much like lobster, over the course of time becoming all of a sudden this really valuable, expensive, fancy food, there's something about the calling that's over your life, or like the special anointing within your purpose, that all of a sudden, I want to say it's like strangely, like miraculously, everybody stops laughing at you and the work that you're doing or what you're pursuing. All of a sudden it starts taking on more like value and more affluence. I don't know if just like the right person happens to make like a positive comment about what you're doing, and then all of a sudden everyone else falls in line and they're sitting there and they're clapping for you as if they've been doing it like the whole time, even though they weren't. I don't know if there's like some external assistance in like helping to validate you and your gift and your path and like why you're doing what you're doing, but something happens, some kind of divine intervention that all of a sudden starts to validate that no, you're not crazy, you do have a purpose, you're doing something on purpose, and it does work, and it is valuable, and it is capable of being successful. So in some way I feel like the dream that you have that feels somewhat delusional to other people is actually going to in some way prove itself to be a real, valid, successful path that other people like cannot criticize. And of course, like what other people see or think about what it is that you're doing, that doesn't really matter. But there is a touch of the energy here that's like, but I do care, like because I have pride and joy in this thing, and I don't want people to think that it's stupid or foolish. Like I care about it. Like I want it to be respected. Like I feel like the human in you is like that's such a valid desire. Like I personally don't care if it even in like the smallest quota is like seeking some kind of validation, because I just think it's just so valid. It's so human. But there is this very clear sense that somehow, some way, what it is that you do is about to start taking on a lot more validity, and people are going to be respecting it a lot more and poking at you a lot less. And again, you may be seeing lobsters. And oftentimes when we talk about like someone's my lobster, it's this idea of them kind of like mating for life. So I also wonder if you've kind of been at a little bit of a crossroads with your path or with your purpose or with your dream, thinking, do I need to shift? Do I need to pivot? Maybe nothing is really going to get off the ground here. Really like undermining the commitment you have to that dream or that goal. And so I also feel like there's something within this energy about you deciding to re-undertake or recommit to some kind of path or some kind of dream. And I wonder if there's something about like this deeper level of emotional commitment. I don't care if they make fun of me. I'm just going to continue to pursue this. That like clicks over some kind of energy, almost like a new timeline. And then there's just like much more validation and visibility and like support and respect. It kind of reminds me of, I think it's like an older Sabrina Carpenter song, I think from her last album, and there's a line where she goes, "And when did all you bitches get so nice?" That's what that feels like. When did you bitches get so nice? And you could get stuck on that a little bit, but I think that honestly you're going to just be so excited that you're finally seeing like movement and a little respect on your name that you'll just start moving and grooving and going. You'll take your momentum and go.